Okay, back. Rat friend is gone.
We, you,
With the mustache. What was the Cinco AA? You got something to say. Right then, ask me anything. I'm like an encyclopedia, man. I can answer anything. Oh, Keelhaul Cave. Listen, mate. Don't ask me about that place. I got no need for a curse from the Pirate King. So if you remember early, oh heck yes, Luigi Time. Well, I headed to Circuit Break Island and got me a marvelous compass piece on. What? Well, I headed to Circuit Break Island and got me a marvelous compass piece. You wouldn't believe it, bro. Talk about thrills, chills, and spills. You wouldn't believe it, bro. Talk about thrills, chills, and spills. It was pretty nuts, bro. Wanna hear what happened? It's a pretty long story. Sounds good to me. Which part of my story you want to hear, bro? You sure about that? Well, like I said, it's a really long story, but here goes. Just as Art arrived at Circuit Break Island, we heard this incredible racket. We soon found out that they hold kart races almost every day on the island. Whoever takes first place in the race gets to rule the island as king for that day. Just as we got to the racetrack, they were holding the awards ceremony. I couldn't believe my eyes. Right there, on the trophy they give to the winner. It was another piece of the marvelous compass almost passed it away. I decided right then and there that the only thing to do was enter the next race. I mean, I've driven in kart races before, so I thought I'd be okay, boy. Was I wrong? The karts were supercharged machines that could send you airborne with their exhaust. These vehicles were armed with missiles and bazookas. It was anything goes, bro. Of course I wanted to get right out of there pronto. These drivers were crazed. But I worked up my courage and signed up anyway, and my race day finally came. I got one of the best carts, the big green 01. I took my position at the start line. The light went green. I stomped the accelerator and something bad happened. The light went green. I stomped the accelerator and something bad happened. I was in reverse. The big green 01 went rocketing backwards with me yelling. I crashed into the wall behind me hard enough to cut me off mid-screen. In one fell swoop, I dropped into last place and wrecked my racing machine. But it wasn't all bad news. Well, the other carts crashed because of my maneuver. Once I got in gear and took off, I was the only car left. I won by a country mile, bro. I took the piece off of my trophy and added it to the marvelous compass. The compass came to life and pointed me toward Jazzafraz Town in the east. Then I heard that voice. Princess Eclair's voice echoed in my ears again. Oh, my princess, random words would form poetry if spoken by your voice. I will most definitely save you. Just wait for me, Princess Eclair. Oh, sorry about that. Bro, I'm so. After that, I got back on my boat. And came back here to Rogueport. And that's what's been up with me. me if I'm Torque, and don't for a second think this dude's telling the whole story. The only reason I lent him my rig was 'cause he got down on his knees and begged. And what happens? He's in it for 1 second before he complete totals it. Idiot. I'm not letting this dip out of my sight until he repays me the 5,000 coin repair costs. Well, that's almost a profanity. And what do you want, Who me you ask about? I am called Falvio. I am, how you say, a trader, the richest man in Rogueport. He's been here the entire time. Monetary wealth gives me freedom, yes, and freedom gives me wealth of spirit. And yet why is it that a man whose life is unchained must always long for yet more? This guy is probably supposed to have a Spanish accent. What is missing from my life? This tears at my very insides. I must know. What do I lack? No wrong answer. Romance, you say, I suppose one does need some romance in life. What other sweet, delectable fruit could make so many wonderful pasta sauces? Oh no, foolish Flavio. Not romance, you silly man. What I need is romance. Wait. Hold the horses. That is it. Now that I am thinking of it, I once heard of the treasure of Cortez, the pirate king. Yes is the answer. Oh, such happiness for me. A hunt for pirate treasure. Why that just shrieks of romance and thrills and emotion and even money? See no wrong answer. Do you not know the tale? The pirate king's treasure hidden on Keelhaul Key. Do you not know the tale? The pirate king's treasure hidden on Keelhaul Key. Ah well, tales say that the pirate king Cortez hid his hoard of pirate booty there. For years, treasure hunters and ruffians have gone there in search of the loot. But not a single one of them has ever returned. Oh, the horror makes my back tingle. People here whisper that the ghost of Cortez attacks all who seek his treasure eke. It is because of those very rumors that people no longer go to Keelhaul Key. Oh, but guess where we're going? It will not stop Flavio. That treasure is Reservius, and I am going to prove it. But that will not stop Flavio. That treasure is there, yes, and I am going to prove it. For I am Flavio, trade extraordinary millionaire sailor of the seven seas. you are seeing. You are also looking for a treasure here in Rogaport. Why talk such craziness? There isn't anything like that in this dull armpit of a town. You cannot be believing each stupid rumor about treasure some street urchin spews out. No, 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 no. Now what madness comes bursting from your mouth? You have a treasure map. But we will hand it over. Rather, I mean, show me. You are having a joke on me. This map leads straight to Kyoholaki. You swine. You mean to steal my treasure out from under me, you awful, awful man. Well, now I'm confused. You are looking for things known as the crystal stars.
Yeah.
But now I am thinking a star-shaped stone was said to be in Cortez's hoard. Perhaps I could sell it for a staggering amount of cash. Yes, that would be. Ah, stop such thoughts, Flavio. What you need is romance, thrills, and emotion. I cannot ignore what this business before me suggests. This must be fate at work. Flavio shall go with you to Kyoholaki. Of course, the crystal star is yours, yes, but the rest of the treasure is many a one. Of course, the crystal star is yours, yes, but the rest of the treasure is mine. Huh, you must repeat that. Flavio's ears are plugged, you have no ship. Ha 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 ha, you unfortunate, foolish man. Do you not know who I am? I will have a ship ready in no time, and it will be massive and glorious. And we have already seen it. Splendid, 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 splendid. Let us begin preparations immediately, shall we? I will volunteer myself as our intrepid leader, yes, and you will be captain. Ah, danger and adventure tickle my nostrils. Come to harbor right away. Captain Murray. So save now because you won't be coming back for a bit. so many people, you see. Hey. So you have orange, green shop, green overalls, yellow overalls, bombone, regular pirate bomb guy, and... clearly someone who shouldn't be there. Yes, so it is you are. Well, sadly, a slight problem seems to have propped up. But feast your eyes on this outrageously fantastic ship. She is a fine vessel, no? She is a sis. Yes, Flavian. The queen of the countless ships in my personal fleet. The queen of the countless ships in my personal fleet. The raw majesty of her hull, the pomp and circumstance, none can compare to her. We're taking the big yacht. Behold the elegant curve of her prow. She cuts to the very soul. Don't you agree? But she is not just a beauty, she is a savage beast on the water, tops among sailboats. But above all, I tell you, this proud ship can. Ah, yes, did you speak? Yes, 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 of course, the problem that has sprung up. I had completely forgotten about it. The SS Flavian, she bewitches Lady. Yes, well, here is the issue. We have no navigator. He ran off, the dog. Hello, rat boy. No, not my first playthrough. We're on chapter 5. The navigator, of course, is the highest ranked helmsman. They steer ships, you know. Yeah, here is the real problem. The waters around Keelhaulkey are deathly dangerous. We need an absurdly skilled helmsman for our navigator. It is how you say, a pickle. Wait, Flavio? Heard you talking there, sir. If you don't mind me saying, I might have a solution. Do not tease me, Papatch. You can solve our problem. Then spit it out already. Well, sir, I've heard talk of a famed no, a legendary sailor living in Roadport. Yeah, I think he's called Admiral Bobbery Salty, old sea dog, by all accounts. But 'tis said to obey the helmsman's touch, sir. He can make any ship bow to his will. Thing is, there ain't a soul what's seen him on the seas of Alta. Thing is, there ain't a soul what's seen him on the seas of late. That's a boom. Problem solved. Let us scout out this Barbary fellow and get him on board. As is customary, my captain will handle all negotiations. That would be you, Mario. Gee, thanks. That does sound fair to everyone, does it not? Then it is decided. You must find this Barbary and bring him here. Our fortune sails with you. There's what, like 2 possible places for this guy to buy? Well, if he's not there, he must be in the locked room, right? Where was her? Admiral Barbary, yeah. Sure that bloke used to practically live at Podley's place on the plaza. But we were just there. He'd stay too late every now and then that lovely wife of his would pink him up. Admiral Barbary. Yeah, I know him. You know that house just past the wall in the eastern part of town, that his. But I think both you and Dee would be better off if you just let him be. But I think both you and he would be better off if you just let him in. Well, guess we're not going in that way. Almost. The other day I saw this guy jumping from roof to roof. Man, he was so dashing. But you know, actually, he might have been a bandit. Maybe that's why he was sneaking into chimneys. Oh, you you just saw Santa. Good afternoon to you, sir. I am called Grifty, the traveling minstrel. Wow, Grifty, that isn't sus at all. I spend my days here in leisure spinning tales that spin the senses. I know but a few of the stories that surround the town of Rogueport. If you like, I can share them with you, but it will require just a few coins. Nah, I'm good. What do you blokes want? Admiral Bobry. haven't the faintest idea what you're talking about. Now, if you please. Drop that, Super Stash. We already found out that you're Admiral Bobbery. Humph, what Papa Cork tell me? What would you want with me if I were this chap? You say your ship needs a navigator, and you want me to do the job, Ellen? So sorry, but you'll have to look elsewhere. I shall set sail upon the sea nevermore. But that's just not cool. You want to see me big or something, is that it? You have to come along, only you can get us safely to Keelhaul Key. Awfully sorry, dear boy, but when I say no, what I mean is no. Now, away with you! What the next move, Chief? This salty dude is going nowhere fast. I can't figure this guy out. What's his beef with the ocean, anyway? Know what we ought to do. Go find someone who knows what the student's deal is. Okay, Bean Man, tell me the truth. You say Bobbery won't go to see her. Well, can't say that surprises me. The real question is, are you folks really sure you want Bobbery back in the water? Oh, is that it now? I see you want to mount an expedition to kill Hawkeye. Rough seas out there. Most sailors would meet their ends, not old Bobbery thither. The fact of the matter is Admiral Bobbery's tale is sad. Horribly sad, actually. You'll probably end up crying, but I'll tell it to you if you really want me to. In that case, Get Ready Bobbery's tale of woe goes something like this. Bobbery was once married. He had a wife of enduring beauty named Scarlet. The two of them were madly in love, the sort of love reserved for fairy tales. Now Bobbery was a renowned sailor, so he was away from home for long periods. Scarlet never complained, though, and always waited faithfully for Bobbery's return. And Bobbery, his eye never drifted. He loved only Scarlet, truly and deeply. So they lived and found happiness where they could, and all was good for a time. But not all good things can last. It was a particularly icy winter when it happened. Scarlet fell ill. A virus, a passing cold, no one knew, but it soon turned serious. Bobbery, at sea on a long, lonely voyage, knew nothing of his bride's suffering. By the time he returned, Scarlet had succumbed. She was gone. Bobbery, of course, blamed himself. My loving wife perished because of me. Bobbery, of course, blamed himself. My loving wife perished because of me. If I were not at sea, I could have nursed her to health. I could have saved her. He was overcome with such thoughts, they tormented him always, haunting his sleep. He has never gone out to sea since. I can't imagine what that poor man went through. No wonder he won't say. You all know his tale now, so tell me, do you still want him to return to the sea? Well, of course. Very well, I understand. If you're that determined, then I'll give you this. You got an old letter. The letter Scarlet wrote to Bobbery on her deathbed. See, this game is fairly dark. Though the next one is also dark. Funny enough, I think only this one and Super Paper Mario have this underlying. Hey world's gonna end theme. Whereas the Mario and Luigi Partners in Time game is a bit more like a alien invasion help. On her deathbed, Scarlet wrote Barbara a final letter. You hold it in your hands. I don't know what's written inside, but I can tell you what she told me as she lay dying. If I should succumb to this plague, and if my love should blame himself for my debt, then give this letter to him, so he may hear my voice. It was her last request. Then why do you still have it? But when I saw Barbary in misery trying to forget the pain as he mourned his wife. I just couldn't bring myself to present this letter to him. I've regretted it ever since. Plea. Take this letter and do the deed I was too cowardly to do. Take it to Barbary. Thank you so much, Podley. We'll deliver the letter, don't you worry. Ready, Mario?
Oh, yeah.
What? Oh, by Blabberton's beard. Not you again. many times you entreat me. My stance is firm. Now away with you. Pardon. A letter, you say? For me? What? Scarlet. This is Scarlet's handwriting. Scarlet, my love. My love, if you're reading this letter, then I am no longer by your side. Because fate has stepped between us, I have decided to write you this letter. If you're reading this, I must have passed away while you were out to sea. I can only assume that you will blame yourself for it, my sweet Bobbery. Although my life was short, you gave me more than lifetime's worth of job. Though you will mourn, I beg that you remember that time, like love, is a tide. Hell. You are one with the sea as you were one with me. Do not lose both your life's loves. Time like love is a tie. You are one with the sea as you are one with me. I'm fine. I'm on chapter 5 of Paper Maria 1000-Year Door. I 1,000 pardons, but may I have a moment alone, if you please? Yes, love, I was happy, my sweet. Sweet Scarlet, I love you still. Now then, you were looking for a navigator, I believe, bound for Keelhaul Key.
Oh, yeah.
Harumph, if you think an old sea bomb like me is what you need, then let's shove off. Admiral Bobbery. Wonderful. The ship's in the harbor, Hump. I must inspect her before we leave. I shall meet you there. Oh no, more spam. Oh, so it's you again, huh, Mr. Stomp-A-Lot? Well, my name is ST. I may not look like a chef, but I'm actually quite good. If you bring me ingredients, my cooking skills burst to life, and culinary magic happens. Yeah. Zeste. This is clearly someone we've seen twice before. Ah, the smell of the sea. I'd forgotten how sweet a scent it can be. I knew you would get Bobby on board, you wonderful mustached you. To you I must say ahoy. I was wise to choose you as captain. Ahoy to me as well. My men have already loaded our cargo and supplies. Yes, preparations are complete. If you have no irons, we can depart at once. What do you say? Shall we set sail? Very well, to the sea. Raise anchor and set sails for thrills and emotion. Say goodbye to the port. You won't see it for probably another 4 hours. And romance. And money. Our destination is Dread Keel Hall Key. It said there was a raid. Did it not fire off? Thank you for the raid. Normally the stream would be like, so-and-so raided you, but I didn't hear it. We're on chapter 5. Yep, it's one of my favorite Geometry games. Oh, you were playing Mario Maker too. Nice. I like that program. Wait up. Thank you for the follow, Bunny Hazard 3000. This is X01 here, come back, dude. I repeat, X01 here, over. Roger, reading you 5 by. Infiltration is successful, X0 Black aboard vessel. Repeat, X0 Black is on board the vessel. Nah, he was pretty obvious. Chapter 5, The Key to Pirates.